every week. Welcome to BRL Tier 2. I'm your commentator tonight, Wrathful, and I am with my co-commentator, Biwo, and we should have a good run here today. See if we have a wet run, but might shake up our championship with only 14 drivers around.
Yeah, I'm in the process of asking for a weather report. We didn't have any rain for Tier 4, but we certainly did last night for Tier 3. Um, it looks like we haven't had anyone go out. Oh, actually, now the Ferrari's going to go out. That will be, I believe, Drix. Yes. Anyways, we'll do the championship rundown as they are. Veyron leads the championship with 85 points. In the first 5 races, he has scored podiums in all but one. His worst finish is 4th place. P2 is Boss Cookie with 43 points. He's tied with TT Heat Wave, who's in 3rd, but being the fact that Boss Cookie has one more better finish than Heat Wave, he occupies 2nd place. Fin Fan is in 4th place with 33 points. Zach the Beast is P5 with 31 points. Toneless Death P6 with 30 points. Drix P7 with 25 points. He's tied with Mozzie, who has 25 as well, but Drix has a 2nd place finish that has him get the tiebreaker. Wraith is 22nd as a 9th with 22 points. And Hey Katra, who got a podium 3rd place last week, is 10th with 17 points. For the Constructors Championship, Mercedes leads with 109 points. AlphaTauri is P2 of 74 points. Red Bull P3 of 67 points. P4 Alpine 63. Alfa Romeo P5 with 33. Ferrari P6 with 31. Williams P7 with 30. McLaren P8 with 16. Aston Martin is P9, tied with Haas actually for P9 with 12. However, they had the tiebreaker over Haas of having the better finish. And
Yeah.
pretty tight. Mercedes has a little bit of a gap over AlphaTauri, but P3 is very tight, only 4 points separating them. P5 is very, very tight when you have 5th, 6th, and 7th, Alfa Romeo, Ferrari, and Williams only separated by 3 points. So
And a few solo drivers out here tonight, so the teams that are stacked up could rake in some good points for their constructors, push themselves a little bit higher. That might be good to see. I'm sure Veyron might want to be getting back up onto that top step. He had podiums in every other race except for the last one where he was 4th, so I'm sure he wants another strong finish. That and who else do we have? I know FinFan won last week's race, so he's probably going to be wanting a good finish here as well.
yeah, he did win at Canada over Heatwave got P2 and then Catcher got P3. I can't remember how it all shook out after Canada with had some penalties, but Zach is retired.
Oh, Zach went off. I just went off of him.
End
and
of
then
cops.
He ends up, yeah. It was a wheel issue and didn't turn in, similar to what you had.
I don't know.
No.
Could be a wheel issue, but we've seen it win that corner, even in qualifying, a little bit in the race, but mainly in qualifying. Now, that back end has a tendency to want to step out, and when she steps out, she's gone. The only thing that could save you is you just not hitting the barrier, which I believe that's what Zach did. So, unfortunate, but you'll have
I
some
mean,
work to do.
it's not all for loss. There's not that many cars out there, so the medium strategy is fairly strong here. Minico puts down our first time with a 28 flat on the mediums.
Yep.
Might be going for a second run, but low on fuel, so we'll see.
He's got the battery to do another, but I believe with the fuel the way it is, yeah, I don't think he's gonna be able to go out for another attempt. He's the only one to set a time.
Yeah, Cam had an invalidation. Drix went back into the pits for some reason. Zach crashed out. Slayer retired, so yeah, we'll have to see.
Why did Slayer retire?
I'm not sure why he retired.
I think he was. I don't think he had a penalty to serve or anything like that. So it's Drunken Shamrock's retired. That looks like
without
to be
setting
on.
a lap. So maybe people are looking at the medium strategy. They don't care if these guys go out on the softs. They don't care what they do. Everyone might be looking at the same idea.
Yeah, that was a in pit lane retirement, so I think at the moment as let's just car out the pace coming in. And I believe Kane is the first one so far this weekend to produce a lap time in the 26s. Tier 4 was a 27 flat, give or take, but Tier 3 was, I don't think, in the 26s because of the way the weather was at the end of it.
But yeah, Veyron with a 27.2, Boj with a 27.7.
So far, other than
That
Zach,
might be Boss Cookie. No, he's invalidated, but he might be running back to the pits to get another run in.
yeah, I think probably a safe bet with this fuel light being on. Plus, he's
Infern's on an out lap. I know he's got the Williams of FinFan, I think, or the Alpine, but no, he's invalidated. Mozzie, I think, is on an in lap. Yep, he's on an in lap, so.
Yeah, I think Mean Fern's gonna be the first one to start a lap. I think he's actually got FinFan behind him. I believe he does. Yeah, he does. FinFan doesn't pit, so he'll have another go. So far, other than Zach's incident, it's been kind of sort of, we haven't had anyone have any issues or spin off.
So far, so good. It's been a fairly clean run.
And according to the weather report that I obtained from Nico, it's going to be a dry race, so no rain
That's
to
good.
affect.
It's not tier 3.
Tier 3 was interesting last night because, you know, it rained throughout the whole race, which wasn't really an issue, but, you know, I was working with Redeemer last night, and the weather report suggested it's supposed to rain throughout the whole session, so it was weird. Right when Redeemer crashed out is when the track went from wet to dry. It's, ooh, Mean Fern loses it. Going to Maggots Beckett's part of the track, so he'll have to regroup. Yeah, we weren't expecting it to go dry at the end of last night's Tier 3 qualifying session, so sometimes the weather can play a loop, but
It can play a loop. Caught me out at the very end of my quali session with wet in tier 4, so the weather pops in and out for quali for sure. It's very interesting to see the Interrunner in tier 3 do so well, but that's P4 for FinFan.
yeah, Yellow Snowman did it. That was pretty bold. I saw
That
that.
was a stellar move. That was
I-
a gamble, and I liked it.
I saw that going. Mad props to you because I wasn't even thinking that. Because I mean the conditions
It's wet, but how wet?
Yeah. And the conditions really didn't improve, but they really didn't get worse. They just kind of stayed the same. So, hey, he made it work.
Hey, props to him if you're gonna make it work. And Catch is the next one to finish a lap.
She's on the medium
Produce on
compound.
the mediums though. I think everybody else ahead is jumping for the softs at this point to get that position, but
Let's see what.
Nico's time is on mediums. He's looking at the softs, I think.
And with 3
This is
retirements.
fastest lap on the softs. Yeah, his time is on the softs as well. Catcher does a 27.3 after having a little bit of issues, but that's a good time for her. Very strong on those medium tires. If she can
Yeah.
get to the pits and retire, she might be happy with that.
Yeah, but Nico's time is on a medium set, and he's got 3 people below him that have retired. So at the moment, he only needs to beat out really theoretically what 2 people to be in the top 10 to start on mediums. So
Well, he's already improved to a 27.2 on the softs, so there is that.
yeah, he just did that. You're right.
Yeah. So,
Scratch that.
but is he got more to dig if Katra's got a 27.3 on mediums, or is Katra just get the lap that she wanted in there and is happy?
27.3. That's probably. I don't know how much on the table you could leave on that.
Well, supposedly there's 5/10 between the tires, so somewhere around the 26.8 if you had to do the math. Chaos has a bit of a moment, so he might recharge for another lap, but let's see, I know his teammate's coming through.
That's certainly doable. She'll come into the pit lane. Well, McLaren's they're good together, going to the hangar straight, going into Stowe.
Yeah, they had a bit of a tow going. Cam backs out of it though. So after having a validation there. It is what it is. Voj on a run. Who else is on a run? Is that Fern at the end?
I think Veyron is on one end as he approaches Cops. Keeps it on the... doesn't validate. The windy Maggots and Beckett's Hart. Gonna finish sector 2, and he's 2/10 quicker, so he's could get P2 by the end of this.
Ozzy kind of pulled himself out of that lap. Maybe he's just going to recharge and get back into the pits for one more. Yeah, we'll have to see. What did Veyron? He had invalidation, so that's not going to help him.
No,
He burned
it's
into
not.
the pits. I remember Voj was on a lap. What did he end up producing? Oh, he bowed out of it at some point, it seems. So, might be heading back to the pits. All these guys farming for that perfect lap, it seems. Not really happy with anything less than what they need.
Well, there's still plenty of time left to where if you do make a bobble or mistake, just go ahead and come in, just regroup. Let's see who else is. Let's see. Ozzy's on a lap, I believe. No, he's not.
Oscar, he's starting a lap now. I think Mozzie's on an in lap. Drix might be on a lap.
I
though.
believe he is. So far, so good. Let's see what he does. He hasn't produced a lap yet, so this will be his first lap time. 103.161 after the second sector. Does show purple, but I think that might be personal best and not session best, but we will see. On the last couple
So
of
far,
corners.
he's doing well. But yeah, last few corners. What does Drix have coming to the line? He's 6'6".
Oh. So not much separating
5/10
the...
soft can.
That's, yeah, actually, wow. That is only, about 500ths of a second, so maybe he was generally,
Yeah,
maybe he was generally fastest in sector 2, so we'll see if he hurries up to the pits and puts on a new set of softs. He should have enough time.
Oscar, I think, is run to the pits after having another invalidation. Yep, he's running for the pits. And speeds to the pits.
Chaos is starting a lap. McLaren, he hasn't produced a time yet. So far, him and Meanford haven't set a time. Meanford going down the hangar straight, going to Stowe, so that will probably... Chaos and Meanford, this is probably their last shot.
I wonder how that's going to go for Katra, with everybody else being on softs and her on the alt strategy. It worked out in Tier 4, but can it work out here in Tier 2?
Well, she hasn't left the pits yet. So, we'll see. It really might come down to what Chaos and Mean Fern do. If she wants to go out or not.
Walken gets a little bit more of the curbs than he wanted. It threw him off for a second. He recovers the car nicely. That's going to be an invalidation there. I don't think he's got time to make it in the pits. So
Yeah.
that might be his run done.
If he recharges the battery and he has the fuel, he can do one more go. But if he has the box, I think that's going to be game over with approaching 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
He needed another minute on the clock for him to get around again, I think. So.
I mean, for it to work, he would theoretically need to leave now. You know, it's a minute. It's a minute. Let's just round this up. It's a minute 30 lap time. I rounded it up. You got to press the button. Your crew's got to release you, stuff like that. You got to go down pit lane. I mean, it's more or less 2 minutes is borderline, and right now we're approaching 2 minutes. So, and Mean Fern, he's coming to complete his lap. Let's see what this produces.
27.3 right in the pack with the rest of them, really.
Well,
A lot of 27.3s, a lot of 27.2s. It seems to be the line for a lot of these Tier 2 drivers.
so Mean Fern is most likely done approaching minute 30. Hey, Katra is out there on a set of softs, so we'll see if she completes this lap. Or if this is a lap to where by the time she reaches sector 3, if she's still within the top 10, maybe she pulls the plug.
Is that Minico and Boss Cookie starting? Yeah, they're both on their out laps. Okay. OJ, that's next to finish a run. It is.
Well, we're going to test your 5/10 theory from these mediums to softs. After sector
Patrick
1.
can put down a 6,
Oh,
6-8 roughly.
She's a 10th quicker so far through sector 1.
OJ in the pits, so that's his run done. Fan trying to finish a lap. Mean Fern behind trying to finish a lap. Fan gonna go for another one. So he's starting a lap. And Mean Fern giving him some space to start another lap. Drix on an out lap to start one. We got Veyron behind on one to start. Cam might have some traffic, but he's invalidated, so he's gonna line up. So they're all kind of lining up to start their final runs.
Chaos isn't going to make it.
Mozzie might not make it. It's a close one. 3, 2, 1. He doesn't make the line,
No. So Cam would be
does
the last
produce a 26.8 though, so he improved on his last run, so that's good for him.
Oh, well, there you go. She got another 26, so you're 5/10. Yeah.
It's roughly there.
Yeah.
Boss Cookie goes second, puts it real close to Cam in the 26.5.
And here comes,
7-4.
Here comes Manico. What does he do? Jumps up the pole with a 26.5. Basically.
Yeah, so Walking Chaos, I guess, is invalidated, so he's done.
Yeah.
Fin Fan has invalidated, so he's done.
Cam
What
is
does
still on the
Drix
lap.
have?
Drix is 3/10 up. Cam was, let's see what he's up after sector 2. Oh, about 2/10 up.
This could be it.
It's gonna be, if he can keep it together. Oh, Finfan retires.
And Drix is gonna steal it. What does Veyron have behind?
I come down to Cam here.
Veyron will improve. Cam's gonna
Does.
steal it though. Come on, game. Let me spectate.
And Mean Fern, he's not on a lap. He's coming on the pit lane, so that would do it.
So that'll do it. So your top 3 will be Cam, Drix, and Minico. 26.297 being pole.
Yep. all three setting that time literally in the closing seconds. So well done to them.
As the track improved towards the end, but yeah. And there you have it. Very close delta between a lot of the drivers, right
Yeah,
in that 26th as the track improved. So
yeah.
26.8, 26.9.
Yeah, the top four separated by a little under 3/10, and then P5 to P7 separated by give or take a tenth, and then kind of the back half of the top.
Voj didn't get a lap in at the end. I don't think Toneless did much of a lap. FinFan invalidated, so
Yep.
arguably it could have been closer had they got their laps in. So
That's the one thing to kind of keep an eye on with, invalidating to for once not to get penalties.
and with Zach being out of the mix with his early retirement, he wasn't up there to put in another time. So again, this is a pretty tight group on pace at least. So there is that.
Let's see. Gotcha. I was asking for an invite. Let's see if that goes through.
Walk in chaos. The only driver so far looking at the mediums. We'll have to see from the back group who might jump for it. 28 seconds till we're ready to go. Slayer looking at the hards, so
Yeah, let's see.
OJ to the mediums.
I don't know if you want to be on hards unless mediums can go a pretty good ways. I mean,
Yeah, mediums can go quite the distance. I don't think hards are the play here.
there they are on the grid.
And away we go for a formation lap as they get along.
So yeah, top 10 odd had to do softs, but yeah, P11 to P12, P15, Boj, Chaos mediums, Drunken Shamrock mediums and P15, Slayer and P13 hards. Gonna see how that transpires, and Zach on softs. So gonna be interesting to see. Zach's gonna probably want to make quick work of those front three in front of him, given the fact that he's on softs. Don't want to get held up. But if you're Vaj and Chaos, you're gonna want to stay attached to these soft runners ahead, and then kind of when the tire wear kind of equalizes between the soft and mediums, then go on the attack and close in the distance. And then when the soft guys pit, open up a gap.
Yep. Here's a few gaps between some of the drivers. I'm guessing just as they're warming up tires. Meanfern's left the session, so we'll try and get them back in.
I got it.
I know Slayer went off on those hards a moment ago, so hopefully he can get back closer to the crowd so they don't have too cold a tire.
There he is. He's back. All right, good.
So yeah, FinFan, your previous winner. Veyron with your championship leader. Cam on a charge. Drix could get a few good points. Same with Minico and Boss Cookie. So it's going to be hard for Veyron to scoop out a podium this time around. Same with FinFan to get that win. So we'll have to see what will happen this time.
Well, in order to finish, wow, I butchered that in my mind. In order to get a result like that, you have to get to the finish and just keep your nose clean. So we've seen so far only one safety car in tier racing so far this weekend. So we'll see if that changes or not. As here, everyone's basically got the grid waiting for one more. I believe that's FinFan, or no, that's Slayer.
Slayer, who spun off earlier. Trying to get a camera angle on the lights, but
There we go.
here we go. 5 red lights. A little bit of a hold, but there we go at tier 2 for Britain.
Oh, mean print is not get going at all. Wonder if
Some sort of wheel issue with him. Didn't have throttle for a second. He's left the session again, so he's disconnected. Or he's paused it. Well, disconnected, yes, but lots of fighting through the pack already.
so far everyone's keeping it clean.
So far, so good there.
Hey, Slayer on those hearts. He's done a good push forward to P11.
Walking Chaos trying to get through Katra and the rest at the back on those mediums. Doing a good job of it so far, but Katra holds her position.
So Slayer thought about making a move on Fin Fan. That wasn't gonna work. You can't go side by side to the nuggets and back. I mean, you can, but it's not recommended. Ooh, Chaos has a
Walking
moment.
Chaos has a moment. He's gonna have some drivers try to filter by.
Meanwhile, Cam will come around. He'll likely lead lap 1. Yep. So far, outside of Meanfern, who had his issues on lap 1, everyone's pretty much in the DRS train. No one's really broken.
Oh, Zach's had some issues. I don't know if that was contact with somebody, but he's off in the P14, so hopefully he can recover.
I don't see any damage.
Don't see any damage, but all the medium runners and hard runners are all scrapping it out of the back, so.
I'm trying to. Yep, Boja gets by his teammate Slayer. Slayer looking to get back at him. And Slayer, Boja's able to hold the position off. So far, the front 5, front 6, just biding their time. Not really looking
Doing
for
a whole
move.
lot. They're kind of just in uniform in a line through the whole course, so. Almost back into that DRS range of Mozzie, so it's kind of closed in that chain again.
Yeah, Toneless needs to close in a little bit, make sure he doesn't. Because if he doesn't, he won't get DRS, and then you'll see a train form behind him, and that'll allow the front 6 to kind of sort of break away, which will be activated this
He's
lap.
struggling a little bit in dirty air, went a little bit deep in the last few corners, but hopefully wasn't too bad. Seemed to keep his pace. Everyone's still riding along. Trix and Miniko might be looking to swap positions. Miniko can't quite make it. Boss Cookie looking for a dive. It's up Miniko's side, but Miniko holds the position for now.
Yep. And as you see now, DRS has been activated. You see the rear wing flip up. That'll give these drivers more straight line speed. Of course, the leader Cam can't have it because, well, there's not a car in front of him to be within 1 second. So he's close to breaking it, though.
Zach's already caught back up. Now he's trying to get around Slayer on those hards, so good for his race so far.
Yeah, they get by the 2 Aston Martins, who are about 3 seconds adrift from Drunken Shamrock. As Fin
Chris is
Fan.
falling off. He doesn't have DRS, so Miniko's going to take that P2, it looks like. A little bit of overspeed that he had. Let's close that back into Cam. We do have a car off.
That's
That
Slayer.
is Slayer.
He's missing an end plate. Last time I saw, he was near his teammate. I don't know if that was the cause of the contact or not. Just notice where they were on the track.
Rix and Boss Cookie doing a little bit of jousting. Boss Cookie probably looking to make a move when he can, but was a little late there. Maybe just trying to get a better run on Drix. So
Tell you what that did allow is Cam. He's got the road 1.6 seconds clear, so Miniko now won't have DRS, but this will allow Cam to kind of break away a bit, open up a gap. And it will be Miniko that's under fire.
Miniko does have the battery to push to try and close in, but it seems like everybody does the push into Cam.
Yep.
Walking Chaos losing out to both the Alpines. Having a moment, so that's not good. But covering well. Slayer in for a set of softs and a new wing. Probably hoping for a safety car to recover some of his race, but
yeah, he went to softs, which is interesting. Probably should have picked mediums, but who knows? Maybe that was a glitch. Maybe because we've seen that happen before, where you select the tire that you think you want, and the game gives you something else completely different.
yeah, Miniko's not really falling off. He's losing a tenth or two to Cam, but overall keeping pretty close. Cam's used a lot more battery to get away, so.
Yeah, he has, but
Oh, Boss Cookie has a moment and goes off.
I saw that in the corner of my eye. Like, wow, he's
And
still.
he goes deep again.
Does he have some sort of wheel issue? Which sometimes.
No, maybe just dirt on tire after going wide. Maybe an overheat issue, but the two Alpines are gonna, or only one Alpine this time of FinFan works his way around. Catcher goes around as well. Boss Cookie's lost a lot of positions.
Yeah. But he didn't damage anything, so we'll see what was that all about. The way the car was using the inputs, it kind of looked like it was some sort of a wheel issue going side by side. Ooh, thought about going on the inside of FinFan there. Third corpse. Oh, Drix is off. It saves it though, but wow. That's gonna be
Aaron's
good.
gonna try and wiggle his way through with DRS though.
It looked like
Not quite this time around.
looked like the curb caught him out there, and I thought he was about to spin off, but he was able to correct it. Gathers it back up and doesn't lose a position. I tell you, Cam's 2.4 up the road, but everyone else from P2 all the way down to P11 is effectively in this train. Then Zach's closed in a bit. He was 3 seconds back of Shamrock. Now he's 2.3, so he's trying to reel these guys back in. Get himself back into the fight.
Yeah, some of the fighting might be helping him claw it back in, so hopefully he can get right back into the DRS chain and maybe see if he can make a few moves around with other drivers' mistakes, which seems to be the main cause of overtakes at this point, is somebody else making a mistake and somebody else jumping on it, so.
Yeah, Drix has gathered it back up, and we'll see if he will have a run at Miniko. Yeah, one person who's probably enjoying this race so far for sure is Cam. He's, ever since he broke that DRS 1 second gap, he's kind of just slowly inched further ahead, so.
Slowly inched it further ahead. He's been dumping a bit more battery. Miniko still has a lot on board, so maybe he's just waiting for no battery ahead so that he can try to close it down, but Ozzy having to use a lot more. Same with Bayron and Katra and a few of the others, but Miniko and Drix have a lot of battery, so they're holding on to their tires a little bit, it seems, so.
Well, I think, yeah, Cam's using the battery, but I think if he's getting what he wants, though. I mean, he's using it to extend the gap, and I mean, 3 seconds, that's a very healthy gap. Kind of protects one from, the undercut. So.
Yeah, Walking Chaos doesn't seem to be making a huge impression yet on the mediums, but soon could be.
Well, this would be about the crossover period where the softs would typically start to fall off, and then the medium runners should theoretically have more grip and have more pace. So we'll see if that will start to prevail for the next handful of laps. Trix is all over Manico.
He is. Drix gets the curb a little bit and loses it, so he's slowed up. He takes a 3-second for his troubles as well, and Veyron's on the back of him.
And that's going to allow Manico to pull ahead a little bit.
Run away.
But
Yeah.
Drix did get DRS. I think what the detection point is going into the Maggots Beckett's chicane.
Yeah, so he did get DRS, which closed him in, but yeah.
Let's see if Manico can open up a gap here. He needs to find 2/10 before going through Abbey here. Let's see. I don't think it could be close.
Oh.
Nope.
It's gonna be close.
He didn't get it.
Gets around Catra. Catra's fighting with Boss Cookie on the inside. Both should have DRS, and Catra should be able to hold out position.
Boss Cookie took a peek, but yep, not really much of a look there. I mean, a complete lap 8. Be interesting to see when guys decide to pit. I think be interesting to see who will be the first to blink and try to get the undercut.
Yeah, it will be interesting. It doesn't seem like any of them can really show a whole lot of pace being in this chain. It's hard to get around, hard to do anything. Drix making a look for a move on Minico, but not quite enough.
It's just kind of these guys are stuck right now. I mean, we've seen this DRS train.
Into the pits for Minico and Drix. Cam continues on. Veyron takes P2. Everyone else will slot up 2 positions. Zach also into the pits.
Yeah. So, pretty much, I'm pretty sure these guys will go to the medium compound for the end. And we'll see if that will make Veyron and anyone else respond. As Slayer, I believe, has gone off. Yes, he has, but he is still moving.
Still together, though. Yeah.
That won't cause a VSC or a safety car. Let's see, does he have any damage? I think he's missing a front wing. No, he's still got his front wing. The onboard did not really give a good angle.
Boss Cookie sorts his way through Catra.
Ooh,
Catra going a little bit deep with some of that dirty air. Walking Chaos is going to be looking for that move on these old softs.
He thought about
He's
it.
got the somewhat fresher mediums.
He's for sure thought about it, but then thought better against it. So let's see what this does. This triggers Cam. Nope, he will stay out. What does Veyron and everyone else do? Veyron stays out. Mozzie, Finfan are in. Catra's in, it looks like. So we'll see how this kind of changes. Panico and Drix were the first ones to go for the undercut. Let's see where they shape out. They've been in clean air, so they haven't been held up by traffic.
No, but everybody else is starting to pit now. We'll have to see how that works. I know Zach was also looking at that undercut, trying to reclaim some of his race. Bojay's left the session, so try and get them back in. Minico is through the pit lane.
They're gonna have a really big gap.
Everybody else still ahead of Minico needs a pit, but there is a gap to Cam.
I would say Cam probably should pit this lap. The gap before he pitted was give or take 3.5 seconds, if memory serves me right. Minico and Drix Well, they had FinFan and Mozzie not too far behind them. Now they're 3.5 seconds behind them just on that lap.
Yeah, and Walking Chaos is going to take a 3-second, but is chasing down Boss Cookie, doing really well in the medium strategy so far, so has himself in a pretty strong position for the end stint of the race.
Cam stays out one more lap.
Looks like Veyron into the pits.
Yep.
Boss Cookie will inherit that position. Toneless into the pits.
Chaos, it's
Walking
fastest
Chaos
lap.
is going to take. Yeah. 29.3, not too bad. Boss Cookie's going to take a 3-second for going a little wide there. So the track limit penalties are starting to stack up. Late safety car could make it a big deal. Where does Minico come out with Veyron?
Oh,
Drix is right behind, but Veyron is on his
they're
way
going to
out.
be way ahead.
Sailing through.
I mean, trying to see where it all shakes out. Sector 2, there's I believe that's Slayer that's around. It is.
Yeah, but Drix and Minico are like 4 seconds away from the crowd that they were
I know Cam.
having DRS
I have
with.
a feeling Cam needs to pit. I mean, he'll have 2 lap pressure tires, but hopefully I'm wrong by saying that he won't be a threat for the undercut, but I mean, as you pointed out, they're 4 seconds up the road from Veyron. Veyron was pretty much there as
Slayer.
Slayer's.
Lost it into the grass.
Here comes Cam.
Cam into the pits. Boss Cookie into the pits. Walking Chaos is going to keep on going.
He'll inherit the lead.
Shamrock's going to keep on going. OJ, what is your strategy at this point? He still needs to get back in here. He's ghosted, so.
Well, here comes Cam. Cam leaves. Let's see how big the lead's going to be over Minico and Drix. Might be actually.
It's closing in.
It's a lot.
Drix got ahead of Minico, but I don't know if they're going to be. They're a lot closer than where they were, but still a distance.
Give or take wise, they're only 1.5 seconds, so trying to see where it all shakes out.
They gained about 3.
They gained about
2.5 seconds.
Yeah, about 2.5, give or take.
So not bad on them.
No.
See how Drix and Minico get along.
They get through Voji, which he's been ghosted actually. So Chaos.
Slayer being blue flagged, so. Oh, having more issues and hits the curb and loses it, so he's just had a very bad race this time around.
Yeah, he's had a pretty bad race indeed.
Boss Cookie, I don't think got the best strategy by going later. Worked out for Cam, but Veyron is much further ahead after that, so.
It worked out for Cam because he had that 4-second lead, so he wasn't really under threat of the undercut. Now, if he would have stayed out one more lap, then maybe
Perhaps.
it would have been a different story, but being the fact that he had that gap and he's starting to slowly pull away.
Slayer having more issues, it seems, with overheated tires, but Drunken Shamrock trying to chase down Walking Chaos. The leaders can still change up. They're both the medium runners. They still have yet to pit, but this is for their race on the alt strategy. Fan, I think, had an issue. Went onto the grass, went deep, I think. But he's lost some positions to Catcher and Mozzie and Boss Cookie, so.
Let's see if I can. trying to see if I can get Bowie back in here. Right. See if that works. Well, approaching the working lap 14. Be interesting to see when Chaos and Shamrock will pit for softs at the end.
I would imagine closer to lap 16, 18?
We just saw guys be able to go 10 laps on softs, so theoretically that would be an option. And theoretically, they will be a fresh set of softs, not the set that you qualified with.
Scrub set, yeah. And getting around Voj's ghost, I think, so. Right now, that looks like it's your points. FinFan can still get it, but he's got a penalty. Boss Cookie still has a 3-second, so that's not helping him. Minico's got Drix with his 3-second, but they still have to close into Cam.
Did Voj get back in? Let's see, I don't think he did.
Minico gets the move on Drix through Stowe. Slayer having more issues. End of sector 1. And Minico closing a little bit more on Cam. Cam has very little battery. Minico could try pushing with battery, see if he can close that gap, but I'll have to say Boss Cookie and Clean Air wanting to probably close it into Drix and Minico, so see how that 3-second gap closes in. Slayer with more issues and wing damage, so he's probably going to go to the pits.
Trying to help technical difficulty. Sorry if that's why I've been quiet.
Oh, good.
Oh, good.
Voj seems to
All right,
have joined, so
It worked. Good.
Zach working his way through.
Unfortunately, they lost some ground on the with not being in the lobby, but he's back in the race. Maybe he'll get a safety car to change his luck.
Yeah. Well, he's on the medium strat, so he definitely needed to go to the soft soon, so wasn't going to be great with that pace. Trick closing in fast with Minico on the overspeed, but not quite enough.
Well,
Boss Cookie not making a huge impression without DRS, but
well, here comes Shamrock and Chaos. They pit. They'll hand over the lead back over to Cam, who's built up that 3.8 second lead over Minico.
Cam is far off, though. Do you have a... What is going on?
Oh, what has happened to Cam?
He went off, and he's lost all of his wing. Stopped for a moment on track, but other cars are coming by now.
Wow.
But that's effectively destroyed his race if there's no safety car at this point.
Well, that has changed this race for sure. And it's unfortunate for Cam, who's having such a strong race up to that point. That's going to take him.
So
Take him
there
right
goes
out of
our
the reckoning.
intervals.
Yeah, same here. I don't have him as well.
His controller disconnected, and the AI didn't grab it. Oh no.
Wow.
So yeah, Minico's got the lead with Drix and Boss Cookie's penalty, so as long as he holds himself ahead.
Well, wasn't that long ago Boss Cookie wasn't really looking too hard with the strategy. Now he's looking pretty good. I didn't realize he got the P3. Well, theoretically he was P4, but it certainly changes.
He was already up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. He does have the fresher of the medium runners. Like, maybe that'll pay out in the end of the last 3 laps. Maybe he'll have, like, another 3/4 pace. It might be enough.
Well, 2.5 seconds back. Take a look at the penalties, as you mentioned. So everyone's got a 3. So
Walking Chaos into the pits. What? That's gonna slow up Cam even more. So
why is he? He just came into the pits.
he just came into the pits.
No, he's getting a new front
in
wing.
A new front wing too. Oh, so that's just a horrible run for McLaren. Cam's gonna have to wait to get a new wing. So that's
And that's just,
more,
yeah,
more misery.
looking promising for McLaren. It's looking promising for Manico right now. He's got Drix all over him, but what Drix has is a 3-second to Manico having none. So
He's cleaned in that a whole second. So like he could make this a 1-2-3 fight.
he could indeed.
These guys are fighting these corners quite a lot, getting a little bit more of the curbs, and it's unsettling them a little.
Who's that?
And Slayer off again.
Apparently Slayer has rear end damage and stuff, so that's what's hampering him. I tell you what, Veyron and Heykatra also are kind of sort of in that Boss Cookie train, so theoretically those two could jump into this as well. As Drix gets the
Drunken
lead.
Shamrock is on the alt strategy, doing well on the softs, but yeah, Drix takes the lead for now, but with the penalty, still has to run a little bit up the road.
Yep. We'll see how aggressive Manico will be with getting that lead back, knowing that Drix has a 3-second, also knowing that Boss behind him has a 3-second, so Slayer has retired in the pits.
After having floor damage, I guess, yeah, it makes sense. Boss Cookie and Veyron are fighting it out. Katra is still with them. Katra is doing a very good race for herself, still holding on to, realistically, the top group. Might be one of her better finishes so far this season if she can hold on to the last few laps.
Well, if Chaos gets another... Oh! Okay,
And
he's
Walker
retired.
Chaos speeds into the pits and then retires. That's interesting.
Yeah. Working lap 18 here. Unfortunately for Cam, he's going to be wanting a safety car. I believe that's Slayer's car coming back onto the track after he retired. Nico goes back into the lead.
Yep, he's gone back into the lead. Maybe thinking the DRS was faster or something, I'm not quite sure.
Well, as there goes, who's that? It's Walking Chaos's AI as well. Just a kind of a glitch in the
Give
game.
Boss Cookie and Veyron and Katra some dirty air, but Katra looking for a move on Veyron. Has DRS, so does Veyron, but she's pushing with ERS. Is it going to be enough?
It's alongside.
Oh, that's contact. She saves it, though. What a save from Katra. What a save from Veyron. They both hold on to their race and their 5-second gap so far.
Colton Herta, is that you?
Yeah, that was a heavenly touch. That was very well.
That was
well done to hold.
That was a Colton Herta save from the IndyCar race earlier. She was sideways and kept it forward as Zach DeVries gets a 3-second penalty.
Not going to help his run, but he's back into the points after having some issues early.
Yeah. And Boss Cookie is only 1.8 now, 1.7 behind these guys. He's had to use pretty much his whole battery to get to that point.
But the top guys aren't using their batteries, so if they're not going to use it and let him close it in, then, you know, now he can get DRS, try to recharge his battery, and then look for a move.
Yeah, Veyron and Katra are about kind of equal in battery. However, Veyron won't have DRS this time. So we'll see if that will give maybe Katra a better shot at making the move.
Well, in theory, if they just hold on and close into the leaders, they could still get those podium positions based off penalties. So, Katra and Veyron swapping places, Drix and Minico swapping places.
And Manico just needs to be, doesn't need to do anything here to get a 3-second penalty. Runs wide there, off the edge of the cops.
Drix is going to try and run away with the last 6 laps from Minico, I believe.
Yeah, he needs to open up the gap, but here on the hanger straight, Manico will get DRS, so he'll close that gap again. So kind of hard to break that.
Yeah, but the more these two jostle, the closer, Boss Cookie's going to close in. And now Catra and Veyron have swapped back again. So maybe the two of them are just towing each other along. Catra out of battery, I guess, so maybe he just needs another recharge, but
I think they're both low on battery. Yeah, Veyron has a little bit more than her. Catra thought about it, going into Abby.
thought about it. Thinks again, though. Wants to get DRS instead.
You know, if it
Boss
wasn't,
Cookie very close.
if it wasn't for that wheel issue earlier in the races, came as, he's retired off the cops. I don't know if that's going to bring out that's a VSC.
That's a VSC. Catra was about to make the dive on Veyron, but has to back out of it due to the VSC.
See,
So
I don't think that will turn into a full safety car, being the fact that Cam didn't retire on the track, which that was unfortunate. Had a really brilliant first 2/3 of the race. Really didn't put a foot wrong. And then, had his issue a couple of laps after he pitted. Lost his front wing, and it's been unfortunate.
yeah, there is a bit of a chain at the back. Mozzie could be making up some good points on penalties if he can close it into Shamrock and FinFan and them, but VSC is going to help him recharge, help everybody recharge, help Boss Cookie close it in. But Toneless gets the drive-through penalty under VSC, so that is going to take away points from him. Probably give points to Mean Fern.
That will, yeah. That is the kiss of death, especially at this stage of the race.
I think that threw Boss Cookie off of his groove. He was a lot closer before the VSC. He's going to have to close it in that last few laps.
Yeah, Veyron still has a catcher in his DRS. Theoretically, it's a battle for P4 on the track, but theoretically, this is a battle for the final podium spot because both of them are within 3 seconds of Boss Cookie. So we'll see which might happen. Does Hey Catcher get her second consecutive podium of the year, or does Veyron get his 5th podium?
5th, I believe.
Yeah, 5th out of 6 races.
Pretty good average, but I'm sure Catcher wants it. We'll have to see. Nico also very close to Drix. We got 2 very close fights. We still have Zach and FinFan closing in on Drunken Shamrock, so there's battles all over.
Yeah, Mossy could potentially get promoted up to P6 because of the penalties if he can get close enough. And it was Monique on the inside of Drix. That looked pretty easy.
Catcher gets ahead of Veyron, so they're trading places again.
Why they've done that, they've lost some time to Boss Cookie, only 2.3 back. Boss Cookie sets the fastest lap of the race.
Oh yeah. The tires at the end could be the difference. Boss Cookie does have the fresher stack. Will it pay out?
Well, he was, what, 2.2?
Yep, and he's already closed it into a second. Didn't get DRS this time, but he might be able to hold in close enough to get DRS. Catra's putting a small gap to Veyron, and Catra is trying to close it into the top, so she's doing great for herself.
If Catra can kind of sort of, now that they've gone through a whole straight there about them swapping, if she can kind of break away, get a second gap before the second DRS detection point for the hanger straight, she could possibly make a run after not only Boss Cookie, but potentially Drix. She's not that far off. She's
not that far off. And the more that they joust and fight, and especially with Boss Cookie getting into the mix, if they fight a little bit more, it could close her right in for a good podium position.
She's only 6/10 off of Drix's 3 seconds. So, yes, here comes Miniko by.
Another trade of position for the two drivers. That's what their sixth time, probably sixth or eighth time, probably cheating,
Well,
swapping it over. But
by the way, look who's arrived.
yeah, Boss Cookie's arrived. Okay, Boss Cookie, what do you got? What do you got for us? I love to see it. 2
Well,
laps, 3 laps. Come on.
He has 3 laps to maybe pass these 2 guys and then open up a second gap. He's had the pace to close in on these guys, but let's see if he can get by them and then maybe open up a gap. However, what that has allowed, Catcher's only 2.8 behind them, 3.8 behind. Let's see.
Yeah, FinFan's gotten around Drunken Shamrock, so Soft's not doing too well towards the end, so Mozzie's gonna maybe make up a few positions. Catcher trying to hold off Veyron. Needs to close in that 3-second gap, though.
Let's see what Boss Cookie does.
There's not even a second between the 3 of them, so...
No. Ed, well, actually, Hey Catcher has kind of, now she's in range of not getting Boss Cookie's 3 seconds, so...
But Boss Cookie still has to joust for a position. If they fight more, it could be it, but maybe they're just really focusing on trying to get away. But it all comes down to Miniko. He is the leader. If he can hold it off, and it depends on his defense. If he slows them up enough,
Well,
it could be Veyron's and Catra's game.
his biggest defense right now is to not get a 3-second penalty. That is what he needs to do. So here comes Boss Cookie, looking for a move. He's got it done. I don't know if he will. Will he have DRS though? I think he will. Yes, he does.
They
So
both will. But Drix can't get back around.
It's going to be a tall order for Boss Cookie in a lap and a half to pass Miniko and then punch out 3 seconds. I don't see that happening.
No, but any chance that Miniko slows them is exactly what Catra needs. She's just on that line of 3 seconds.
Very, very close.
Boss Cookie does have the better tire. Is it going to be enough towards the end? He's going to look for the move on Miniko, and he's going to be around.
Yep, just clean sailing. So let's see what Miniko does here. Does he fight and try to take it back, or does he just sits there knowing that he's battling 2 guys that do have 3 seconds of penalties?
Catra takes a 3-second time penalty, so that is not going to help her race at all. And she's lost it a little bit of time. Veyron slipped himself ahead, so Veyron can close in that gap just with this last lap to Drix, who's struggling on the older set of mediums, but I think Drix still has quite a bit of pace.
Yeah, he'll need to find 6/10 and basically 2 sectors.
And Drix still has DRS, so that's not going to be an easy order.
I have noticed this though. Miniko's fuel light is on.
His fuel light is on.
That a cause for concern.
Maybe, maybe not. I don't think Boss Cookie will get the 3-second gap out of it though. It could be just because he's right at the line.
We saw Portugal on the last lap of Charlie. He ran out of fuel. And what was going to be a really good result for him. So, Miniko's trying to maybe look a move on Boss Cookie. He gets it done. Oh, here comes Boss Cookie fighting it back. No.
Miniko getting it done on track, wanting to be ahead at the end, regardless of penalties. After trading positions many times with many of the drivers out here today, Miniko is going to take the win here in Britain Tier 2, followed by Boss Cookie and Drix. Veyron won't be able to get it on penalties, so he will slot in for P4 for a second time. Catcher will take P5. We'll have to slot back. FinFan had penalties, same with Drunken Shamrock. So yeah, Mozzie takes P6. Zach will take 9th. And Shamrock and FinFan for 7-8. And Meanfern should be the last one to collect points here today.
Setting up the invites.
Unless, unfortunately, with that late drive-through really cost him, so...
Yeah, Mozzie got to P6 with, yeah, everyone basically need penalties except him. Yeah, so very good job.
Fantastic job from our drivers here tonight. Have to get them in for their podium interviews.
Excuse me.
Drunken Shamrock as your driver of the day on that invert strategy did very well for themselves.
Alright, so we got Boss Cookie in here. Try to get the other two in here. Well, we got everyone here but Drix, so we'll just start with Boss Cookie. Well, talk about your drive. First off, you had an interesting sector 1 where you went kind of flying off the track. Didn't get any damage out of there. What was going on there?
Um, so I just kind of like went full throttle and lost it, and that's really it. Like I was in dirty air on heavy fuel, and it's kind of hard to stay completely flat. Um, kind of messed up my race a little bit because Miniko and Drix weren't quick, like at all at the start, especially, and I was just trying to get past one of them because you can't. It's really hard to get past. Um, if you're the third car in line in a DRS train, third or back.
Yeah.
So if you're that far back, you have to have, I'd say like 8 or 9 tenths on the car in front of you on pace just to pass. And that's pretty much impossible on equal tires in a tier like this. So it's really hard to pass. So I just kind of pushed a little too hard. I think turn 1, turn 2, turn like the first complex of corners in the first sector is probably the best place to pass people on a DRS train because no one suspects it. And I tried to push through, just lost it. But after that, I mean, my pace was really strong. I feel like I was almost as fast as Cam was, just constantly stuck behind people. But I mean, I got fastest top of the race by quite a margin. So it's a good race. And then having on the fresh tires at the end, uh, helped me catch
Yeah,
up to. No God.
No, I was just curious of what happened, if that was something you did or if that was a wheel glitch or whatever glitch that unfortunately happens in this game. But okay, well, good thing you didn't make a really bad mistake and get any damage. But yeah, talk about your pace at the end. It certainly was strong. You did reel in both Miniko and Drix. It's a shame that you had the 3-second penalty, or you might have been able to fight for the win.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have been dumb and overtook Miniko on the penultimate lap if he did have a penalty or I didn't have a penalty. I would have set him up in the last lap. But no, I just wanted to stay ahead of Drix because I made a pretty good pass on him in turn 3, whatever the fuck that corner is. Sorry, I didn't mean to cuss.
You're good.
Um, no, I made a good pass on him, and that's really all I wanted to do because I couldn't get 3 seconds on Miniko unless I channel Yarno Amir, but that wasn't
Right.
happening. So
Well,
just
I
kind of
mean, you,
tried to settle for P2.
yeah, well, you and Drix were basically on equal footing with both of y'all having a 3 seconds. So, yeah, good job run those guys down and get yourself a P2 and a podium. With Drix not being here, we'll move to Wrath, who interviewed Miniko.
Is Miniko here? Yes.
Yes, I am. Hello.
Oh, he is here. He's been all quiet this whole time. I was unsure for a moment. So, what a win. A lot of back and forths, trading positions. Was that just to get DRS and to kind of keep your pace up? What was that all about? Or was he just able to get the run on you a few times?
It was mainly just trading so that we could easily just keep it consistent and try and stay ahead of everyone else. That was mainly the goal throughout that. I was not expecting to be in that position. I thought Cam was going to run away, but he had a problem during all that. But yeah, after that happened, I was just like, okay, I just need to keep it calm, consistent, make sure I don't get any penalties, in which I managed to do so. And then, yeah, just staying within the 1 second of Drix and making sure I don't go too crazy in terms of overtakes. And eventually, at the end, I managed to get it on track as well, which was very nice. And yeah, been a while, but we're back.
Yeah, it's a solid win for you. Puts you right up there for your championship fight for yourself. But yeah, very good run. No safety cars besides a VSC, so good to see that from Tier 2, and good to see all your guys' pace out there.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But I think that'll be it for our stream here tonight for Tier 2. Check back in about 45 minutes where we'll have Tier 1 going off. So we'll see you there, and have yourselves a good and safe night, everyone.